statements during his confirmation process and contacts with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak. As for Trump, he took to Twitter, posting a picture of Senator Chuck Schumer and Vladimir Putin sharing donuts and a laugh. Trump tweeting, "We should start an immediate investigation into Senator Schumer and his ties to Russia and Putin, a total hypocrite." Then a short time later, after Nancy Pelosi said she had not met with the Russian ambassador, Trump posted a picture of Pelosi meeting with the Russian ambassador, saying, quote, "I hereby demand a second investigation after Schumer of are a total witch hunt." Athena Jones begins our coverage out front outside Mar-a-Lago, where the president arrived a short time ago. And Athena, the president, as we can see, is fighting back.
Hi, Aaron. That's right. He is counterpunching, as he's been known to do. And what better platform than Twitter, his favorite social media platform. But we don't expect him to be tweeting for the next few hours, and that's because he's heading into a dinner, a fundraising dinner for the Republican Party. It's part of the Republican National Committee's spring retreat. The White House says that he is preparing for a working weekend here at his resort in Mar-a-Lago. They haven't released a schedule of exactly what he'll be up to over the next couple of days, but they say he will be spending it working on some issues. Aaron.
All right, Athena, thank you very much. And back in Washington, this fight between the Trump administration and Democrats over the Attorney General's meeting with the Russian ambassador is reaching a new pitch. Liar, liar, these are the words we are hearing. Jeff Zeleny is out front.
President Trump heading off today for a weekend in Florida, but not escaping lingering questions about Russia. Before leaving the White House, his closest advisors holding an animated meeting in the Oval Office. Chief strategist Steve Bannon looking particularly agitated as the week ends with more aides acknowledging meetings with the Russian ambassador last year.
Thank you.
A day after Attorney General Jeff Sessions recused himself from any investigations involving the 2016 campaign after failing to disclose his meetings with the ambassador, the administration is on damage control. The president's words from last month not holding up to scrutiny.
I have nothing to do with Russia. To the best of my knowledge, no person that I deal with does.
The White House has yet to explain the purpose of these meetings, the disclosure of which has overshadowed the president's well-regarded speech to Congress this week. Republicans urging Team Trump to be more forthcoming.
I think everybody who's had contact with the Russians need to get in a practice of oversharing.
In a statement, the president defending his attorney general as an honest man, blasting Democrats for what he called a total witch hunt. Those words echoed in Moscow, where Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov described it the same way.
It all looks like a witch hunt.
Russia clearly on the president's mind today, sending this tweet. "We should start an immediate investigation into Senator Schumer and his ties to Russia and Putin, a total hypocrite." Senator Schumer firing back. "Happily talk about my contact with Mr. Putin and his associates. Took place in 2003, in full view of press and public under oath. Would you and your team?" Visiting Wisconsin today, Vice President Mike Pence downplaying concern about Russia, saying he didn't know Sessions met with the Russian ambassador.
He is a man of integrity. As the president said, he could have answered the question more clearly, but it was clearly unintentional.
Now, as there is no question, the Attorney General still is on very good standing here at the White House and inside the administration. No one is closer to this president, no member of his cabinet is, than Jeff Sessions. A bigger question is on Capitol Hill. Republicans largely seem to be reassured by his recusal yesterday. Democrats, though, Aaron, an entirely different question.
All right. And thank you very much, Jeff Zeleny. Out front tonight, let's talk to one of those Democrats, the Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, who sits on the Judiciary Committee. Congressman, the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee says that he will not cave to the Democratic demands that Jeff Sessions come back and testify again. Republicans, you just heard, they are satisfied with his recusal. What are you going to do about this? Are you satisfied?
I'm certainly not satisfied. Jeff Sessions himself said that no one should be above the law. That has to include the Attorney General, who's the chief law enforcement officer in the United States of America. And what is clear is that Jeff Sessions either lied under oath to the United States Congress or, at minimum, provided inaccurate information. In either instance, he would have committed a crime. That certainly seems to me to be the basis for him to at least come back to Congress, the House and the Senate Judiciary Committee, and explain himself.
If you're saying in either case a crime, though, it would sound to me that you're saying he needs to resign. Are you saying that?
I certainly am saying that if it can be proven that he has engaged in either perjury or providing misinformation to Congress, then he doesn't deserve to be the Attorney General of the United States of America. And it appears to me that that actually existed.
You want to give him one more chance to before you say he needs to resign. You want to hear?
Well, I think it's actually reasonable. I'm going to continue to study the record over the next few days, but it's reasonable that the Senate Judiciary Democrats would say they're interested in giving him an opportunity to testify under oath to explain himself.
Okay, so meeting with ambassadors, though, which is what this is all about, it's very common. Speaker Ryan was just asked tonight about this. How often is it? How many members of Congress would have met with the Russian ambassador or other diplomats? Here's what Speaker Ryan said.
I would think dozens, if not more, the hundreds. That's very common. We meet with ambassadors constantly as members of Congress. That's their job, is to come and meet with members of Congress and express their interests, their concerns, especially with people on foreign policy committees like Armed Services Committee or the Foreign Relations Committee.
Dozens, if not more than hundreds. Is he being honest?
Well, let's be clear. Something stinks at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and the American people deserve to know, does the rot go all the way up to the top? It seems like all of the president's men, the Attorney General, his National Security Advisor, his Chief Foreign Policy Advisor, his committee, campaign committee chairman, his son-in-law, on and on and on, just so happened to have had all of these communications with the Russian ambassador or Russian intelligence agents at the same time when Russia was hacking into an American election. All we're saying is they should be able to explain that. We need a full and fair investigation.
Okay. Now, we have discovered, though, that Democrats who denied meeting with the ambassador did meet with the ambassador. Claire McCaskill, a senator, is one of them, right? She categorically denied it. She did. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi said this today about this Russian ambassador.
You've been in Congress a little bit, and you're in leadership. Have you ever met with a Russian ambassador?
I'm not with this Russian ambassador, no.
That's not true. She did meet with this Russian ambassador. President Trump actually tweeted out the photo of her meeting with that ambassador. If she didn't think whatever conversation she had with him was worth mentioning, right, or she didn't even remember it, is it possible that when Jeff Sessions says it wasn't relevant at all to the campaign, that's why I didn't mention it, is it possible that that's completely true and that does explain all of this?
Not possible, because let's look at what Jeff Sessions knew to be the case at the moment that he testified. First, 17 different intelligence agencies have concluded that the Russians interfered with our election for the sole purpose of helping Donald Trump become president. We also know that since December of 2015, at least 4 different Trump cronies had frequent communication with Russian intelligence officers at the same time that they were hacking. He knew that the National Security Advisor probably violated a federal statute in December of 2016.
But he said they talked about religion, they talked about Ukraine, it got testy, right? He certainly remembered it, by the way. Yesterday he went through the whole list, but there was nothing about the campaign on there.
This is the greatest set of coincidences perhaps in the history of our American Republic. And if it's just all one big coincidence, let's have a full and fair investigation so the American people can know the facts.
Before you go, I want to understand, though, still, when people who think this could be political. Then Attorney General Loretta Lynch, of course, met with Bill Clinton privately. This was something that incensed Republicans. They called for her resignation, right? Similar to what we're hearing now from some Democrats. President Trump at the time tweeted, does anybody really believe that Bill Clinton and the U.S. Attorney General talked only about grandkids and golf for 37 minutes in the plane on the tarmac? Which sounds a lot like what people are hearing, what we're hearing now about people who say, oh, of course, we're really going to believe Sessions didn't talk about the campaign. Here's what Republicans are saying.
If it was benign, why did he give the answer he did? Again, I'm a former prosecutor. These are the kind of things that raise a lot of questions in my mind.
Of course, I meant Democrats. Why is what Democrats are doing right now not just playing politics?
Well, because we're concerned that a foreign power may have interfered with our election in what is really an act of 21st century warfare in terms of the cyber hacking that took place. And we think that this is not a partisan issue, and that Republicans should put country over party, and let's follow the facts and give the American people the answers they deserve.
All right, Congressman Jeffries, thank you very much. I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you very much.
And out front next, Trump family members, White House staffers, so many with ties to Russia. So really, how many And what are the connections? Our special report next. Plus, this father and his son's tragic story may be President Trump's best argument against sanctuary cities.